Midnight light on a dim-lit screen, clicking through stories you wouldn't believe. Cold case trails and courtroom scenes, whispers from the grave and media dreams. Truth is stranger, hearts beat faster, in the shadows of a news disaster. Scrolling deep where secrets hide, you found the stories time won't deny. Headstones and headlines, the tales collide. Justice and mystery, side by side. From backwoods clubs to breaking news lines, you shine a light where the silence lies. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Small town rumors and urban fear, a voice for the lost who can't speak here. Through every name, through every case, you hold the truth in a steady place. Cameras roll but justice lingers, truth unravels through careful fingers. You tell a story, speak their names in a world that's quick to look away. Headstones and headlines, the tales collide. Justice and mystery, side by side. From backwoods crimes to great night trials, you trace the echoes through every mile. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Some run from the dark, you walk right in with a question and a camera lens. It's not just a crime, it's the lives they led. The voice is still talking from the books unread. Headstones and headlines, the veil is thin. Truth gets louder when you begin. With every view, with every line, you bring the forgotten back to life. Oh, headstones and headlines, you dig where the truth won't die. Yeah, headstones and headlines, you tell the stories that time can't hide.
Hey everyone, happy Wednesday. I hope everyone is good. I hadn't planned on going live because I haven't been feeling the best this week, but I saw the story about what happened in Minneapolis this morning, and I am outraged, as should everyone in this country be outraged. It's always been my opinion that ICE agents are a gang of thugs. I don't even know the words, but what they're trying to sell the American people tonight, what Homeland Security is trying to sell to us, is, in my opinion, a load of bullshit. A load of bullshit. And I'm going to kind of hold off on saying everything that I feel. I want all of you to see firsthand what happened. So I do have the videos. Actually, let me back up. I'm a little worked up here. So this morning, a woman in a red Pathfinder was parked sideways in the road because ICE agents have been in Minneapolis wreaking havoc amongst its residents. So this woman was parked sideways in the road, blocking ICE agents from going forward. An unmarked truck pulls up full of ICE agents. They step out, go up to her car. Allegedly, they told her to get out. She did not get out. Instead, she hit the gas and tried to get away. One of the agents had parked himself directly in front of her car. And when she went to pull away, he shot her 3 times. Well, actually, let me rephrase. He fired 3 times, hitting her in the head. Her car traveled some ways up the road where it crashed into a parked car. They are now trying to say that the officer was run over, that he was acting in self-defense. My perspective is, should this woman have been blocking the road? No. Did she deserve to get shot because of it? No, I do not. And our president, in his way of doing things, has issued a statement, which I will read to you later. So I am going to first show the video of what happened. I will have my banner up, viewer discretion advised. There's nothing entirely graphic. However, there were many people who were videotaping and recording what was happening. There are several angles as to what happened, and I'm going to let y'all decide, because I believe that it's all bullshit. They are lying to us. Our government is lying to us. Go figure. Go figure. So, that's not where I want to be. I want to be on my playlist. Here we go. So I have 3 videos for us. As I said, the first video is going to show what actually happened, and I will slow it down because it happens very, very quickly. I then have a statement that the Minneapolis mayor gave earlier today, and then currently Homeland Security is giving a press conference, so we'll watch to see what they have to say. I only watched a little bit of it and then said, you know what? I'm just going to go live and share this with all of you, because this should not be happening in our country. So I don't have the right banner up. Give me un momento. There we go. So viewer discretion is advised. All right, here we go. Yes, the following contains graphic content. Viewer discretion is advised.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God!
Let's bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Tom.
So I'm going to back up because that was, I don't even know how many seconds. 10 seconds. And my thing is, he was parked and he stood right in front of her car. I'm going to slow it down because I even said, when I first saw, I'm like, okay, Emmy, calm down. Calm down. I put it on quarter speed. Actually, let's try half speed first. And I said, just calm down. And then when I watched it again, and then there is another angle as well, I said, he was not in fear of his life. He was not. That's my opinion. Oh, and I didn't even say hi to everyone. That's how worked up I am. I am so pissed off. Like, first I saw the video of our fearless leader mocking transgender people, which I did post a short of that. He is a buffoon. He is an embarrassment. Embarrassment. So I see that and I'm already aggravated. And then I see this and I was like, what the hell is going on in this country? So Pookie, thank you for being here. I do appreciate it. Doodles, good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Rhonda, thanks for being here. Joe, thanks for being here. Hey, Burden. Burden disagrees. My boyfriend just said the same thing. Watch the other angle. I did watch the other angle, and I think he stepped in front of her car. I mean, he was in front of her car, but when she went to move, he moved toward her. That's what I saw in that other angle, the one where the tree was kind of in the way. But I'm hoping that there's other video. I mean, there were so many people out there that I'm hoping that there's more. But based on what I saw, like I said, should she have been parked there? No. I mean, just that in itself is defiant and not appropriate. Do I think the ICE agent should have went and stood right in front of her car? Nope. Sounds like a bad idea. Sounds like a bad idea. I felt like the other two officers or agents, I guess they're called agents, had it under control. They were at her, talking to her through the window. But I think what Homeland Security is trying to sell us is not completely accurate as they are trying to say. But I'm going to slow this down because it was pretty quick. And so this is at half speed. And my thing is, I didn't even know where the other officer came from because the truck, the unmarked truck, which that's another question I have. Why are ICE agents driving around in unmarked vehicles? I mean, shouldn't they have official vehicles that they drive around in? Burden says, I'm not saying I agree with any of the big picture, just from what our laws state that a vehicle is considered a weapon. That is very true. I agree with that. A vehicle is a weapon. In my opinion, for now, is only off the footage viewable to us at this moment. Gotcha. Doodle says, my awareness is up just seeing a vehicle parked like that, to be honest. What was she doing? Do we know? She was trying to prevent them from going into her neighborhood. That is what I read. That she wanted them to stay out of her neighborhood. So she was parked across the street. But, as this is unfolding, I mean, there was, based on what I've seen, there was a lot of people out there, a lot of people watching. There are now hundreds of people protesting in the streets. So I'm guessing the other officer came from this white car. I thought this white car was another car blocking the road. So let me just back. Okay, so this white car is parked here with the door open. Okay.
No!
Okay, so he was on the side of her car, it looks like. So this one's at her door, this one's just standing here, and then the other agent was, it looked like, on the other side of her car, and then she backed up.
No!
She had her wheel turned. Okay, so there she starts going forward, and he's already ready to get his gun. He's already going for his weapon. He's still trying to talk to her, this guy. This guy's just standing back.
Oh, shit!
So at this point, she has her wheel turned. I feel like, I don't know if she even knew that guy was there. Because, well, then where did this person come from? Now there's another person here. There's too much happening. Okay, so let me just back up. Okay, so this one runs towards the car. What the heck? Okay, now I have to.
No!
So that person was standing there the whole time? And now the door is shut on that other car. What? There's way too much going on in this. I'm trying to watch a million things at the same time, and I see something new. Burden says, my boyfriend believes he placed himself in front of her vehicle. I see it that she put him in front of her vehicle after turning her wheel right and pressing the acceleration. So, Burden, your boyfriend thinks that the agent was in front of her car at this point, like before she backed up? And that's why I was hoping there would be, I mean, there is that other angle with the tree kind of in the way where you can kind of see it. And I think they're going to show, I think they have that, but if not, I do have the other angle here as well. Pookie says, I think she was trying to go around them. Hey, Marie, Purple Freak, thanks for being here. But, so then where did this person with the white hat come from? All right, I'm going to back up again because. Okay, so this car door is open right now. I don't see the person with the hat. And I don't see the other agent because, in my opinion, if the agent was in front of her car, he would be standing over here, right? I mean, thinking about when you drive, like it'd be like we'd be able to see him at least through her window, through the windshield.
No!
So she backs up and it almost looks like he moves over. And then this person videotaping is like, no. Burden says, as I said to my boyfriend, some may claim he pulled his weapon too soon, but I feel like if someone were to aim a gun or weapon just the same as a vehicle at Ali, at what point is it considered too soon to pull? See, I think, I mean, I don't, how do I put this? I don't disagree with him pulling his weapon. Actually, I'm going to hold that thought until I finish playing this once more.
No!
Okay, so there he has his weapon pointed at the car, and the car is going toward him, but her wheel is turned. Her wheel is turned. Like she at this point, I don't know. I don't know what she's seeing, but I'm assuming that she even was trying to get around this white car. I don't know if she knows he's there. Burden says, my boyfriend's answer to a question I asked him was, well, I wouldn't put myself in front of a vehicle. I agree with your boyfriend, Burden. I wouldn't stand in front of a vehicle, but I don't think initially, just based on this, he was standing in front of her vehicle. But I think when she backed up and then went to turn, he moved over. But I can't say that with certainty. But at this point, she's going forward and her wheel has turned. She has her wheel turned to go down the street. And that's when he fights. But then, so now he's no longer in danger, but he keeps firing. That's where I have an issue, because he fired once, but then when she was past him, he fired twice more. He's no longer in danger. And actually, I hadn't noticed before. I'm not going to show the part where he's firing, but these other agents, I just noticed, I want to see what they were. So this one is kind of running toward this one. I'm not sure where he came from. Oh, what happened to this guy right here? This guy like fell down or something. They just helped him back up. I don't know, man. All right, let's go back to normal. And then there is one more video that I hope they show on this news clip, but if not, I have it on a different.
Let's bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, we finally did get video cleared. You are seeing the actual footage there of a bystander that captured the video on a cell phone.
Okay, so here's where the first bullet went through her windshield. Right here. And I'll be interested. I mean, I'm sure with the accident reconstruction, etc., they may be able to determine what bullet is the one that hit her that ultimately killed her. I mean, this bullet could have killed her. But he fired two more inside the window. Hey, Truth Seeker, how are you? Oh, okay, Burden. He slid on ice, I believe. That makes sense. Burden says, I wouldn't either, but he felt he didn't. Wait. But I feel he didn't put himself in front of her on purpose, at least not from the available footage so far. And that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, I agree. Tragic all the way around. It doesn't change my belief, though, that ICE are domestic terrorists. The way they handle things isn't appropriate, in my opinion.
We have two totally different stories here and a massive investigation that is underway, being led by the FBI. You've got DHS, Pierre, Kristi Noem, saying this was domestic terrorism, that this ICE officer was reacting in self-defense. But then you have the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Frey, and also the police chief, Brian O'Hara, saying there is much more to this story that is simply not true, that the ICE officer was not necessarily reacting in self-defense.
Well, Kara, we have a total disconnect, as you say, between what the federal government is saying and what the local authorities are saying. You saw the governor of Minnesota, in this case, express his frustration with ICE and the enforcement that's going on in the city of Minneapolis. But he was very clear in trying to point out and urging citizens to peacefully protest and to conduct themselves in a way that did not invite more violence. I think the key here is that the video, there apparently is going to be body camera video from the ICE agent perspective.
And if there is body cam footage, which I hope there is, I feel it should be released as soon as possible, without retractions or redactions or any other editing. And I also was just thinking, I haven't seen a video of what happened before this. Like, did anyone get a vehicle of what happened? I know they show at one point the officer or the agents pulling up, but I want to know if there's like longer video of before this happened.
They're going to have to go through that video frame by frame. But I think the key here is that law enforcement officials, from DHS perspective, they are loud and they're clear. As you say, the Secretary of Homeland Security calling this an act of domestic terrorism. They put out a statement that the woman was using the vehicle as a weapon to try to run over the ICE officers, that there were ICE officers injured. All those things now have to be investigated by the FBI. Also, the state police officials will be involved in this investigation. But Kira, what you've seen over the last few months is, as ICE expands their efforts across the country, tensions in the communities are rising. And there has to be, going forward, it would seem to me, more education.
I agree, Burden. The more we watch, the more we pick up. Right, because even just that small clip, I didn't notice the first time I watched, I didn't notice that person with the white hat on. I was like, where did that person come from? And then the other agents, I hadn't noticed that there were several more agents on the side than what we saw initially. So every time you know, it's just like reading a book a second time or watching a movie a second time. You pick up on things that you didn't notice the first time. Because in this case, there was so much going on at the same time. Joe says we need to see everything that happened before making judgment. I agree with that to an extent, yes.
About how people are to conduct themselves in these situations as well. But again, the investigation will have to determine exactly what happened. In this case, split-second decisions are being made, but also we don't have any information from the woman.
I mean, Peter made a good point. Split-second decisions. Split-second decisions.
Woman's perspective and what she feared was going to happen to her as well.
All right, and I wanted to show, before we get to the mayor speaking, I did want to show the other video, because there was another perspective. I think, is this one slowed down? Oh no, it says one. Okay, so I don't know why this sounds like it's slowed down. Maybe this person slowed it down just to kind of see, but this was from ABC5. And so in this video, this tree is kind of blocking stuff, and then it is kind of grainy, but this white car right here is the white car that was to the right of the woman's car in the video. And this happens very quickly as well. So I'll have to slow it down. Okay, so you hear this woman yelling no, the same one in the other one. And here's the agents right here. Well, it looks like there's at least one. You can see his legs, and then there's another one here. The Pathfinder, it's hard to see where my cat is. That is the roof of the Pathfinder. Here's the truck that pulled up with the ICE agents that got out. So there's the truck and then the white car, and then her Pathfinder is right here. Okay, so here's the guy. Right here is the guy that opened fire, this one right here. I mean, it does look like she clipped him. Oh yeah, they slowed this down. My sleep is faltering and that sound is terrible. All right, I need to find a different one. That audio is terrible. Oh my god, my ears. Oh, here's a full. Oh, here's a different. This one, I haven't seen this angle before. Okay, so this is a new one. And I'll try to find that other one, but as I was trying to find it, I saw this one which is a little different. The one in the front shot, not the one at the window. Correct. The one in the front opened fire, not the one at the window. Although some that are analyzing these videos are saying that more than one officer opened fire. I don't know. That would be something for investigators to determine. Okay, so this one, this is a definite. So this person in the white hat looks like they came from the road, because there they are right there. Here's an agent here. Okay, so at this point, here's the truck with the ICE agents that end up speaking to the woman in the Pathfinder. So they hadn't even been there yet. So here's her car, the white car. And this looks like an ICE agent right here walking.
Get the fuck out of our neighborhood!
Oh, so there is audio. They're like, get out of the car. Get out of the fucking car.
What the fuck? Dude, what the fuck?
Okay, he doesn't look very injured. He's walking down the street.
Fucking shit. Dude, you did a murder for what?
Oh, thank you, dear.
Get the fuck.
I mean, it happens so fast. All right, so I'm going to slow this one. Let's go. We'll go to half speed on this one and watch this again.
Get the fuck out.
So this person looks like they're recording. This person looks like they have a phone out too. I want to see this person's video. If that's what they were doing.
Our neighborhood.
But the one thing I will say though, I was just thinking, if that other agent that opened fire was in front of the car or felt like, I mean, maybe he didn't think she was going to put it into drive. And then again, I mean, I'm just, now that I'm saying out loud, there's all these ways that I can say, well, no, you know, he couldn't have gotten out of the way because he didn't know what direction she was going. I don't know. And then it sounds like someone like blows a whistle. And here's the guy right here. You can see it. Oh, no, wait. that's the one holding onto her window, I think. Yeah, so this one was holding onto her window, and the other one has already shot. He's already fired one shot.
What the fuck? Dude! What the fuck?
He doesn't, I mean, he could be injured, but he doesn't look like he's as injured as they tried to make it out to be. Let me see. Oh, thank you. I did see, this is the one I watched earlier when I got home. Burden, thanks. Okay, so let's go to this one instead. "34 seconds, okay. 34. Ah, there we go. Oh, they zoomed in on this one, okay. Okay, so it's still kind of grainy, but you can see. So there's the truck. Here's the white SUV, and then her Pathfinder is right here.
Are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless.
Okay. Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so I'm going to just.
Users are left.
Okay, so it looks like he sidesteps because he sees her coming, so he sidesteps.
Divided on whether or not the agent.
Did he lean into her car? Hold on. I wish it wasn't so grainy.
Left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were.
All right, so there's her car, and here's him. He's like leaning on her car.
Reckless or in self-defense. In the footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the.
Yeah, he was yeah, I agree he was clipped by it. Looked like twice to me, one by the front and maybe the mirror. Oh, the mirror. I hadn't even thought about the mirror. All right, let's go back again. Let me see. I'm going to slow it down even more. Let's go to 0.5.
Users are left divided on whether or not the agent's.
I mean, it looks like he tried to get out of the way. Personally, that's what I think, because he saw her back up. He sidestepped. And then when she came forward, it looked like he tried to get out of the way.
Users are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless.
So when did when did he shoot the first shot then?
Defense. In the
All right, let me go back to normal speed.
Footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the vehicle after she blocked the path of their truck. But as one of the agents attempts to open the door, she quickly throws the car into reverse before trying to speed forward in the direction of another agent in her path. After the vehicle narrowly misses the agent, he fires 3 shots before the car crashes in.
Okay, so according to the New York Post, which, I mean, take it for what it is, they say once the car narrowly misses him, he fires 3 shots. So he didn't fire the shots until after he, I guess, he got clipped by it, which the car still touched him.
To a white sedan parked nearby on the side of the street. Hundreds of protesters have gathered at the scene, which the city of Minneapolis has identified as the intersection of East 34th Street and Portland Avenue.
This is f***ing ridiculous. You don't protect people.
In the wake of the viral incident, Secretary of Homeland.
Okay, and we're gonna get to the Secretary of Homeland Security momentarily. Burden says, from the footage so far, again, the whole thing is tragic regardless. Agree. Your upper body would lean forward if trying to pull your hips and waist away from the impact. Right. And that's what I think it was, is he sidestepped away from it. And then, you know, when she started going forward, he tried to move. Marie the Purple Freak says, the big picture is that this is happening in neighborhoods with kids. Shouldn't be this way. It's just wrong. Agreed. Agreed. Oh, it's okay, Burden. Earlier, I tried to say, what the heck word was I trying to say? Let me look quick. It was, like. I wanted, like, and then it put like-minded. I'm like, that's not what I was trying to say. I was trying to say it's like this, not like-minded this. Doodle says, wonder why she drove away scared, maybe. Possibly. I mean, if you have people, you know, I mean, if you know, people have seen what ICE do, and they're telling you to get the F out of the car, get out of the car, and I mean, no one's gonna know because she's unfortunately she's dead. Hey Steph, how are you? Okay, so this was the mayor of Minneapolis gave a press conference just to talk about, real press briefing, I should say, to talk about the event. So we'll take a look at this, and then we do have the Homeland Security Secretary. But I did want to, actually, before we do this, let me just show you the post that President Trump put. So he says, I have just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It is a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. I'll just leave that there.
There's a lot of information that is swirling around right now, and we collectively are going to do everything possible to get to the bottom of this, to get justice, and to make sure that there is an investigation that is conducted in full. But what we do know is that a 37-year-old woman is dead and that she was shot by ICE. We've dreaded this moment since the early stages of this ICE presence in Minneapolis. Not only is this a concern that we've had internally, we've been talking about it. They are not here to cause safety in this city. What they are doing is not to provide safety in America. What they are doing is causing chaos and distrust. They're ripping families apart. They're sowing chaos on our streets. And in this case, quite literally killing people. So they are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. This was an agent recklessly using power that resulted in somebody dying, getting killed. As soon as it happened and we learned of the incident, we had several priorities. The first, of course, was to get the victim to the hospital and to get care as soon as possible. And to the family, I'm so deeply sorry. There's nothing that I can say right now, or the friends of the victim feel any better. There were, I believe, 2 Minneapolis police officers that responded and were in the ambulance on the way to the hospital. The second was to get ICE off of the scene. There were dozens, if not hundreds, of ICE and federal officers that were there at the time. Having them there was only causing more chaos. Having them there was only making a difficult situation even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create.
Wow, I was not expecting that. I had not seen this. I'm sorry to interrupt him, but we need to hear that again. We need to hear that again. Oh, the last one showed. Okay. So once we're done with this Truth Seeker, I'll actually show all of them again. Hey, Chronicles. Oh my gosh, I just saw that. I just saw that because I had read the first part of the statement, Shady, and then I was like, let me, because they did a ... I'm like, so what's the rest of the statement? And so the rest of the statement was, based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. He walked to the car where the woman was. Like, come on, dude. Like, just stop. All right. So hopefully I went back far enough, but I want to hear that part again. Man, I love this mayor.
Even more problematic, and one that, yes, they created themselves. There's little I can say, again, that'll make this situation better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead. That's on you. And it's also on you to leave. It's on you to make sure that further damage, further loss of life and injury is not done.
And I did see that President Trump has doubled down and said that ICE will not be leaving Minneapolis.
We're going to be working towards justice as quickly as we possibly can right now. And justice is what we've all got to get. Next, a message to our community. Look, we all know that the agenda of this Trump administration is to create chaos. Let us respond right now with our best versions of self. This is a moment where all of us in Minneapolis and beyond, we can rise to the occasion. We can show them who we are. We can show them the kind of courage, bravery, love, and compassion that makes Minneapolis, Minneapolis, and that makes America, America. We are better than a bunch of ICE agents being deployed to cities around the country and ripping apart families and communities. We're better than that. And so we are going to meet that hate with love. We are going to meet that despair with hope. We are going to meet that injustice with constitutional justice ourselves. And we're going to make sure that in this very difficult moment, we do not take the bait that these ICE agents are trying to create and that the federal government, to be clear, wants. They want us to respond in a way that creates a military occupation in our city. They want an excuse to come in and show the kind of force that will create more chaos and more despair. Let's not let them. Let's rise to this occasion. Let's show them something far more beautiful than the kind of division that they're trying to stoke. Let's show them unity of purpose, of love, and the courage of our conviction. Our conviction, to be clear, is rock solid, and it is for our neighbors, all of our neighbors. It's for people who have lived here for 80 years. It is for new immigrants who have made this city a better place. That's the kind of love that we're going to show up with right now. If you're angry, I get it. I am too. If you're feeling that kind of despair, it's understandable. Let's show them who we can be. Let's show up with peace, to march, to protest, to hug one another, to love all the way with peace. Do not give them what they want. Finally, we've got a lot of work that needs to happen right now to make sure that, first, of course, the scene was secured as much as possible, that we were able to get the victim, now deceased, to the hospital. We've got a lot of work to do in the coming days. I want to thank our city enterprise for the work that they have done, but more importantly, what they're about to do, because this is going to be heavy and our city has been through a lot. We also know that we're prepared to do right for people. Among them is our chief of police.
Okay, so it looks like they possibly go to someone else. So before we get to Homeland Security's press conference that they had, it was probably about an hour ago it started, because that's when I decided to go live. I just wanted to go to this article quickly. I hate these ads in the way. So I had read part of President Trump's response to this incident. So this just has a little bit more information. So Trump defends ICE agent who fatally shot woman in Minneapolis. President Trump blamed, quote, the radical left and defended the U.S. Customs and Immigration Enforcement agent who fatally shot a 37-year-old woman in Minneapolis, arguing the officer acted in self-defense. Trump, in his first public statement on the shooting, said he viewed a clip of the January 7th incident, which shows an ICE agent confronting a woman in a vehicle blocking a street. As the woman drives off, another ICE agent approaching the vehicle from its front tires. All right, scratch that. As the woman drives off, another ICE agent approaching the vehicle from its front fires 3 shots into the driver's side window. Well, we know one of them went through the windshield because there was unless it went through the windshield from inside the car, but it appeared that it went in from outside the windshield. It's a horrible thing to watch, Trump said in a post on Truth Social. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator, and the woman driving the car was very disorderly, obstructing and resisting, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer, who seems to have shot her in self-defense. She didn't run over him, first of all. She didn't run over him. Although the ICE agent who fired the shots did not appear visibly injured in videos of the shooting, Trump said, based on the attached clip, it is hard to believe he is alive, but is now recovering in the hospital. The Department of Homeland Security did not release the nature of the agent's injuries, but in a statement said, the ICE officers who were hurt are expected to make full recoveries. The situation is being studied in its entirety, but the reason these incidents are happening is because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers and ICE agents on a daily basis, Trump said. The shooting occurred as ICE agents surged into Minneapolis this week as part of what the Trump administration called the, quote, largest immigration operation ever, end quote. Trump routinely warns of violence from the political left, even though research suggests violence from the political right is more prevalent. In the wake of the September assassination of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk, Trump announced a broad-based federal investigation into, quote, left-wing terrorism, end quote, in the United States. Minneapolis City Council President Elliot Payne identified the woman shot as Renee Nicole Good, as did multiple news outlets, including Minnesota Star Tribune, which cited her mother. DHS said the agent, quote, fired defensive shots after the woman allegedly attempted to ram officials with her vehicle. It was an act of domestic terrorism, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem said, accusing the deceased woman of attempting to, quote, run them over. But Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, a Democrat, disputed those claims, saying videos show the woman driving away from federal agents, not toward them. They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he's drafted a warning order to prepare the Minnesota National Guard for possible mobilization following the fatal shooting. From here on, I have a very simple message. We don't need further help from the federal government. To Donald Trump and Kristi Noem, you've done enough. Walz slammed Noem, the Homeland Security Secretary, for already drawing a conclusion about the shooting before an investigation takes place. It's beyond me that apparently from the federal government, the Homeland Security Director herself has already determined who this person was, what their motive was, and they hadn't even been taken out of the vehicle. We're not living in a normal world. I tend to agree with much of what he said. The one thing, what was it that, where did it go? There's something up here. No, I don't remember what I was going to say, but I didn't want to interrupt the flow of the article. So the last thing I have is the presser that Homeland Security gave. All right, and it looks, this one at least looks like it cut off a little bit of the beginning. Let me get back to check quick. Shady says, I guess since I have had firsthand experience with one of these agents because I am half Puerto Rican, I am maybe more outraged, but they are not acting legal in many situations. No, I get it, Shady. I have his post in my shore if you need it, Emmy. Oh, were you referring, I'm behind, I just see I'm like 5 minutes behind. Do you mean President Trump? And that's what I said, like President Trump is too busy making fun of transgender athletes and making a mockery of this country. Like, I would love to know what other countries think of us. I mean, I know what France does because my brother-in-law is from France, but like, what do outsiders who don't live here think of what's happening? Like, I'm embarrassed. The way he was acting, talking about transgender athletes. Embarrassed. It's embarrassing. Okay, it was Trump. All right. Okay. All right. This, like I said, I started to watch this, but then I decided I was just going to go live and watch it with all of you. So let's see what she's got to say.
Governor Walz and spoke to him as well. I want to reiterate first with all of you the facts of what happened today. At 10:25 a.m. Central Time.
Oh, so these are the facts, y'all. And I tend not to stop during press conferences, and I'll try not to. But this kind of goes along with what Governor Walz had said. Like, she's saying these are the facts. So this should be what all of us would be able to decipher based on just watching those few videos. Oh, shoot. And if Truth Seeker, are you still here?
Immigration and Customs Enforcement were carrying out lawful operations here in Minneapolis. Because of the adverse weather that Minneapolis has seen in recent snow, one of the vehicles became stuck and ensnared in the snow. Law enforcement were attempting to push out this vehicle, and when a mob of agitators that were harassing them all day began blocking them in, shouting at them, and
What? Hold on. So I just need to rewind that because I was half paying attention. So she's saying that because of the recent snow, a vehicle had been stuck in the snow and agents were attempting to get the car out of the snow.
one of the vehicles became stuck and ensnared in the snow. Law enforcement were attempting to push out this vehicle, and when a mob of agitators that were harassing them all day began blocking them in, shouting at them, and impeding law enforcement operations. ICE officers and agents approached the vehicle of the individual in question, who was blocking the officers in with her vehicle, and she had been stalking and impeding their work all throughout the day.
So I hope that they have evidence of that. I hope that there is evidence showing that this red Pathfinder and this young blonde woman was harassing and stalking them and impeding them all day. I hope they have a record of that.
ICE agents repeatedly ordered her to get out of the car and to stop obstructing law enforcement, but she refused to obey their commands. She then proceeded.
Wait, this lady did Chronicles?
To weaponize her vehicle, and she attempted to run a law enforcement officer over. This appears as an attempt to kill or to cause bodily harm to agents. And
are ICE considered law enforcement? I mean, I would assume, right? Christy Noam. Jeez.
Act of domestic terrorism. The ICE officer, fearing for his life and the other officers around him and the safety of the public, fired defensive shots. He used his training to save his own life and that of his colleagues. He was treated at a local hospital, has been released, and is now with family.
He was fine. He might have some bruises. I mean, he was clipped by the car, but she's making it sound like he was severely injured.
I encourage the American people at this point in time to pray for him, but also to pray for the deceased's family and her loved ones. Today alone in this country, there have been 4 different domestic terrorist attacks on federal officers by the ramming of vehicles. 3 of them happened here in Minneapolis.
Hold on. Like I said, I hate to stop press conferences, but attacks on federal agents today. Well, unfortunately, this shooting is overtaking all of the other possible incidents that happened in and I just saw an article and trying to find this statistic that she's referring. Protesters were throwing snowballs at law enforcement officers. So, I mean, snowballs could sting, but at least they're using non-lethal means to show their emotions.
We've seen over 100 of these vehicle rammings happen in just recent weeks, and this must stop. ICE alone is facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase.
Yeah. Do you know why, ma'am? We've seen the videos of the way that ICE treats people and how they handle situations. They are thugs. And I know some people aren't going to agree with me, but that's what they are. They are a gang of thugs. Most likely failed law enforcement officers that will do anything that they need to do, that they're told to do, whether it be legal or not. 8,000%, she's saying. Hold on, I just want to back up a little bit.
In just recent weeks, and this must stop.
100 vehicle rammings in recent weeks. I hope, I don't have time to fact check this whole thing, but I hope that someone out there is fact checking all of these stats.
ICE alone is facing a 1,300% increase in assaults against them and an 8,000% increase in death threats against all of them. In fact, the very same officer who was attacked today had previously been dragged by an anti-ICE rioter who had rammed him with a car and drug him back in June.
Wait, hold on. I'm going to fact check this one real quick. ICE agent dragged by car, June 2025. Oh, all right. So that it does show that that did occur. So in June 2025, an ICE officer was seriously injured after being dragged approximately 50 yards or 150 feet by a vehicle driven by an individual attempting to evade arrest in Bloomington, Minnesota. The driver was identified as Roberto Carlos Munoz Guatemala, an undocumented immigrant from Mexico who was a convicted child sex offender. He was an ICE fugitive with a history of violent crimes and driving offenses dating back to 2010. How it happened. Federal agents boxed in Munoz's vehicle. When an agent attempted to break the rear window to gain entry, Munoz accelerated away, catching the officer's arm and dragging him along for about 300 feet, approximately 100 yards before the officer could free himself. The officer sustained significant cuts that required more than 30 stitches, but was expected to make a full recovery. Munoz was later taken into custody by Bloomington police. He was charged with resisting, assaulting, or impeding a federal officer, resulting in bodily injury. This was one of several incidents around that time involving assaults on ICE agents with vehicles, as authorities reported a significant increase in such attacks. So here's my question. I understand that you want to gain entry into a vehicle of someone who is blocking you or that you've blocked, but why would you break the rear window to try to gain entry knowing that this person could drive away? In my opinion, that doesn't sound like a very good idea. So the way that she made it sound was that this person rammed the guy with a car and dragged him. But what really happened was that the officer broke the rear window, and when the car started moving, he was dragged because he couldn't get his arm out. So there's that.
Sustained injuries at that time as well. And let me remind you why we're all here in this city today and why we've been here. In communities across this country and here in Minneapolis, we're just enforcing the laws that we have in this country. For years under President Biden, tens of millions of dangerous criminal illegal aliens, terrorists, and suspected terrorists were allowed to invade our country over our southern border. They were allowed to steal, to defraud, and to perpetuate violence.
This is all deflection. I thought we were here to talk about this incident. Now it's being deflected onto other stuff.
Against American citizens. Regardless of who your mayor or who your governor is, President Trump promised every single American that he would make America safe again. He promised every single American.
Well, that woman in that car wasn't safe, was she? The families that are being broken up aren't being kept safe. Americans who are being detained aren't being safe. Sorry, promises are meant to be broken.
That he would work to protect them from dangerous criminals. Since Governor Walz has been in charge of Minnesota, we have seen homicides go up by over 50%.
Wow.
That's also during Mayor Fry's tenure as well.
Wow. So now she's blaming the governor and the mayor for the behavior. You know, one thing I noticed too is when the mayor of Minneapolis was speaking, he didn't have to look down at a piece of paper. He didn't have to look at his notes. He knew what he was going to say. When others, for example, President Trump, this woman here, they have to keep looking down at notes and things like that so that they have their words right.
Since President Trump took office, Governor Walz has released over 470 violent criminals back onto the streets here in Minneapolis. He has another 680 of them still within his jurisdiction that he could give to us today to face the consequences for their crimes. Because Governor Walz and Mayor Fry refuse to protect Minnesotans, and instead they protect these criminals, that's why we are here. And we didn't just show up yesterday, we've always.
So this is almost like she's blaming this woman who was shot for getting shot. Like, we're here because your local officials aren't doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Been here, but we're surging operations because of the dangerous situation we see in this country, and because we're no longer going to allow illegal criminals to damage and harm, to kill, to sexually abuse, to proliferate drugs, and to steal American taxpayers' dollars. This state has faced unprecedented immigration fraud. It's seen unprecedented benefit fraud. Individuals were allowed to come into this country and set up fake companies and fake nonprofits and divert billions of dollars away from American citizens and those vulnerable citizens who truly needed the services from those programs. This city has burned before, and your mayor and your governor let it happen. President Trump is not going to let that happen. He and our federal law enforcement officers are here to bring peace and to bring public safety and to ensure that criminal activity is stopped and that people who perpetuate it will face consequences. Since we have been here in recent weeks, we have arrested over 1,500 criminals off of the streets. Our law enforcement has arrested murderers, known and suspected terrorists, child pedophiles, and other brutal criminals that were protected here in this city. We should all work together to protect our citizens. We should all protect the men and the women and the families who live here in Minneapolis, who live in Minnesota, and live throughout this entire country. I want to thank you for being here, and I want to thank you for focusing on the important work that our federal officers do and make sure that we're focused on the priorities of this country, and that's making sure that we're keeping people safe. With that, I'll take any questions that you may have.
All right. So I will share, just because time-wise, I will share this link if anyone wants to watch the question and answer part of this. And I didn't see Truth Seeker say that she was still here. I was going to show the video again. So let me go. Actually, some of you came in a little bit later, so let me. I'm gonna bring up this video. Oh, no, I don't want to play it in Discord. Nope. Oh, come on. Stop. Pause. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to show the video again that she was referring to. And I think she spent maybe 3 or 4 sentences talking about the facts of this case, and then she got into everything else, just taking away from this incident. All right. And I do have my viewer discretion advised.
No! No! Shame! Shame! Oh my God! What the fuck? What the fuck?
Dramatic video purportedly shows the moment an ICE agent.
So my question is, I understand like he felt he was in danger, but why is he continuing to fire when she is no longer a threat to bodily harm? Because this clearly shows he is still firing when she is, at this point, she's probably already dead. And why didn't the other officers pull their weapons? I mean, the guy on the window, I mean, I thought, he was in what could have been the most danger because, he could have been dragged.
Fatally opened fire on a woman in Minneapolis, who DHS says attempted to barrel her SUV into the path of an officer. As multiple angles of the incident have emerged and gone viral across the internet, users are left divided on whether or not the agent's actions were reckless or in self-defense. In the footage, ICE officers order the driver out of the vehicle after she blocked.
Okay, and so here's the thing I just noticed. Secretary Noem had said that she blocked officers' path of travel. No, she didn't. She's only on one half of the road. And what about this white car? This white car is blocking their path of travel as well. Unless that's an ICE agent car. She wasn't blocking their path of travel. And I mean, they could have went around
the path of their truck. But as one of the agents attempts to open the door, she quickly throws the car into reverse before trying to speed forward in the direction of another agent in her path. After the vehicle narrowly misses the agent, he fires 3 shots before the car crashes into a white sedan parked nearby on the side of the street. Hundreds of protesters have gathered at the scene, which the city of Minneapolis has identified as the intersection of East 34th Street and Portland Avenue.
This is ridiculous. You don't protect people.
In the wake of the viral incident, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem described the officers' actions as defensive and called the incident an act of domestic terrorism during a press conference.
It was an act of domestic terrorism. What happened was our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them.
Where's the video, lady? Where's the video? Because now in this, wherever she is here, she's saying that the woman attacked them and those surrounding them. Where's the video? Where's the car that was stuck in the snow?
And attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
Oh, so she's talking about the incident we just saw. So she's saying when they were trying to push out a vehicle, this woman attacked them. I saw no one trying to push out a vehicle from the snow where this woman was. No one.
and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot.
They're saying, Shady, she's saying that one of the the agents had a car stuck in the snow because Minneapolis has been very snowy lately. And while they were trying to do that, she attacked them. Here, I'll go back. So she's like, what happened was, okay, so I'm going to play it again.
Our ICE officers were out in an enforcement action. They got stuck in the snow because of the adverse weather that is in Minneapolis. They were attempting to push out their vehicle, and a woman attacked them and those surrounding them and attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle.
So they were trying to get their car out of the snow. The woman attacked them. And then attempted to run them over and ram them with her vehicle. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. The officers that told her to get out of the car were in a truck that pulled up after she parked in the road. So did she even see the video? Like, does she even know what's happening at this point? I'm not sure when this took place.
An officer of ours acted quickly and defensively shot to protect himself and the people around him. And my understanding is that she was hit and is deceased.
Yeah, she was shot in the face.
Democratic Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Frey, however, furiously denounced this narrative in a passionate press conference of his own.
They are already trying to spin this as an action of self-defense. Having seen the video of myself, I want to tell everybody directly, that is bullshit. And I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the out of Minneapolis.
DHS Assistant Secretary for Public Affairs Tricia McLaughlin said in a statement, "This is an evolving situation, and we will give the public more information as soon as it becomes available."
Yeah, as soon as it becomes available. Shady says she wasn't trying to run them all over. She could have, but that's not what happened. What? Right. And no one was stuck in the snow. I know there was, because there's got to be a longer video, I would think. But the longest I've been able to see is when the ICE agents drive up in the car, in their truck, and they get out. And then, they're telling the woman to get the F out of the car. Here's the thing, if she was impeding their travel, why wouldn't you instead say, "Ma'am, could you please move your car?" Like, why get out and say, "Get out of the car, get out of the car, get the fuck out of the car." And then try to gain entry into the car. Like, why not try being logical at first? "Ma'am, could you please move your car?" But no, they didn't. So my belief at this point is that, yes, the officer was clipped by the car. You can visibly see that the car made contact with him. Was she trying to run him over? No, I don't believe so. I think she was trying to get away because she was afraid. And he just happened to be there because I would assume, and this is all my speculation, she was dealing with the officer trying to get into her vehicle, trying to open the door. She wasn't paying attention to who was in front of her vehicle. So when she put the car in reverse and then looked up and hit the gas, she realized that man was there and she attempted to not hit him. If she wanted to hit him, her wheel would have stayed straight, but it didn't. She turned her wheel trying to get away. Truth Seeker, I don't think so. I'm not sure. I mean, maybe the white SUV was stuck in the snow, but it didn't look like, because it was more in the road. I mean, it could have been possibly stuck in the slush, but I didn't think so. But hopefully more videos will come out. I know I had seen on X a lot of people are slowing down the footage and, you know, doing frame by frames, kind of like what I don't remember who said that. It was in one of the clips that we had listened to. Let me just see before I go. Let me just go to the New York Times because see if they have any updated. Oh, this is interesting. So it says the ICE shooting came during an operation focused on Somali immigrants. Federal immigration officials have stepped up enforcement activity in Minnesota amid a fraud scandal there that includes many people of Somali origin. Oh, here, Minneapolis man describes witnessing. Oh, there was whistles. I thought I heard a whistle. All right, I'm going to add this real quick. Let's take a look at this. And I know I am going to plan to do a live tomorrow. What am I doing? I'm sorry. Like my brain just went like to La La Land for a minute. I forgot how to share on my screen. Okay, so it says horns, whistles, and then gunfire on a Minneapolis street. A man opened his door to discover a tableau of deadly violence after a federal agent fatally shot a woman. Okay, so here's this guy. I guess that's him. A man yelling at federal officers gathered near a vehicle after its driver was fatally shot. Connor Genixella was at home on Portland Avenue in southern Minneapolis when he heard the familiar car horns and whistles. For weeks, residents opposed to the recent surge of immigration and customs enforcement agents there had been making noise to alert neighbors to the presence of federal officials. So the horn and the whistles, because I thought I heard a whistle blowing, was to alert the community that ICE had arrived. So when he stepped onto his porch, Mr. Genexela, 30, was not surprised to see what looked like a convoy of federal vehicles. A woman driving her own vehicle was on the road in front of them, and agents yelled at her to move. They approached her car, a Honda Pilot, on foot. One of the ICE agents tried to rip her door open, and another one got in front of the vehicle and then shouted, "Stop," before firing 3 times within a second of saying stop. Then he saw the woman's car accelerate before it crashed into a parked car, which tells me she was probably her car, or her foot went down on the accelerator because she was dead. Homeland Security officials, as well as President Trump, said that the federal agent had fired on the woman in self-defense. But city and state officials, including Mayor Jacob Frey of Minneapolis and Governor Tim Walz, challenged that and said that federal officials were causing chaos. What was undebatable was the death of the driver. After everything kind of settled down, I had walked down the block a little bit, and I could see a bullet hole in the driver's side windshield. He took grainy photos that show a person slumped over in the car and what was apparently blood smeared on its deployed airbag. Now the people who live in the neighborhood are left to make sense of the violence that unfolded in front of them. There's a big sense of helplessness and hopelessness there. I'm standing there watching this happen, and there's nothing I can do. So it's possible that without having those whistles and horns alerting the community that ICE had arrived, that none of this would have been recorded. It is very possible that no one would have been recording, and this wouldn't have been visible to everyone to see what really happened. It would have been a he said, she said. Hey, Sinner, starting at the start. Hope everyone is well. Terrible story. I'm sure you can guess what I think. Chronicle says impeding traffic is a civil infraction ticket. Also, if it causes an accident, it could become a misdemeanor. Right, and she could walk around. They could have driven around her car, and that's why I want like previous video, like before they pulled up, because how long had she been there? Had she just pulled there? Had she been parked there for, quite some time? I mean, this guy, based on this witness, he, when he came out, he just saw the woman on the road. He hadn't seen what happened before. There was also a doctor on scene that was denied access to her. Just wrong. Yeah, and I mean, I need to look more into this because I just saw it maybe, 30 minutes before I went live, and then I saw there was a press conference the press conference was supposed to start at 6 and it didn't. So I looked at other stuff, and there's a bunch of other videos that I had seen of witnesses that I haven't been able to watch yet. So I want to take a look at those as well. And hopefully tomorrow there will be more information from people at the scene, not our federal government, because I mean, that press conference by Homeland Security was trash. It was a deflection. It didn't address what happened. It was making things seem more severe than they were. Calling this woman a domestic terrorist, which is ironic because I find ICE to be domestic terrorists. I mean, they terrorize Americans every day. American citizens, not only illegal immigrants, but American citizens on a daily basis. It is, Steph, it is terrible. Absolutely terrible. So I'm going to go, though, because it is a little after 8, and I do have to go to work, but tomorrow, not today, tomorrow. We did get a delay today, though, and man, I needed it. A few of my coworkers over break had gotten the flu, and one of them came to work sick on Monday, and I was like, stay away. And then yesterday, like, I just felt nauseous all day, but I went to work and I got through it. And then this morning, I would have called out if we didn't have a delay because I was just so tired. So tired. I slept all day yesterday when I got home from work, and then I went back to bed this morning after feeding the cats, and I woke up, I think, at 8:15. So I am going to be going to bed early tonight too. So thanks everyone for being here. I do appreciate it. If you haven't hit that like, please do so on your way out. And if you're listening and haven't subscribed, that would be the best way you can support the channel. So have a great rest of your day. No outro today. So know that I appreciate all of you. And until next time, I'll see y'all on the flip side.